Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my reading vlog of Sarah Adams' new book, The Rulebook. It's currently Sunday afternoon. It's April 7th. I actually bought this book on April 2nd when it came out, so last Tuesday I believe it was, but I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. But it's Sunday afternoon. My husband and I actually just came by the library near where we live to return some books, get some new books, all the things. And so I started this while we were here. I just feel like it's the best atmosphere to start a new book. So I just finished just the first chapter and I'm already loving it, loving the characters, loving her writing, excited to get back into another Sarah Adams story. So I will keep you guys updated, but thank you so much for being here and I hope you enjoy this vlog. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on my reading of The Rulebook by Sarah Adams. So I started this book last weekend and it is now Saturday. So I believe I started this video like on Sunday. It's now Saturday and I'm about to get in bed and read a little bit more, but I wanted to kind of share some of my thoughts so far, what I've been thinking. So I'm actually currently on chapter 26, I believe. So I'm over halfway through this book and I am absolutely loving it. I feel like it's very similar to the cheat sheet in a lot of ways, with just like the way Sarah Adams writes, and you get to see Nathan and Bree from the cheat sheet in this book, which I love, and some of the other like characters on their team and stuff, which is so fun. I really think that Nathan, the main character from the cheat sheet, and then Derek, the main character in this book, and their like football friend group is so fun and just like a sweet group of guys that are like probably huge, like I'm picturing huge muscular like football players, but also they're so sweet and like romantics at heart. So I love that about this book. I love all of the tropes in this book. I honestly didn't go into this book knowing a lot of the tropes. So if you've seen some of them, you'll know, but if you haven't, I'm not going to spoil them for you. Not that they're like spoilers, but I didn't know some of the tropes. So even when things happened, I was like, oh, it like really surprised me. And I feel like it just made reading it more fun. So if you haven't looked up like the specific tropes of this book, I would go into it blind because I think it's been more fun to read it that way. Also, I think Sarah Adams' writing is just so good and she does an amazing job of like weaving together these dual POVs. So like you'll be in a scene, something will be like happening where like Nora and Derek are like, do we like each other? Do we not? And then it will like switch from her point of view to his or something. And you get to see what she was thinking and then what he was thinking. And I feel like it just adds this really fun like tension and just element as a reader to know what they're both thinking, but them not know it, and you're like, oh, really rooting for them to get together. I feel like she just does that so well and it's so fun. Overall, I am loving this book so far. I'm so excited to keep reading and kind of see how the romance all plays out. Maybe I'll try to finish it tomorrow afternoon and I'll update you guys then. Okay, I'm back. It's time to do a little bit more reading, and honestly, I might finish the book right now. I'm on chapter 36 and I think there's like 40 something chapters, maybe just 40. So I'm gonna do some reading. I feel like since I talked to you guys last night, I read a little bit by the pool and it's gotten, I don't want to use the word spicy. So there is a spicy chapter. It's chapter 34 and you can totally just skip the entire chapter and you don't miss anything. Just assume they were hanging out, you know? And so I skipped that chapter, but it's definitely gotten a little bit more like they're together, there's stuff happening, just like that good banter and like tension that Sarah Adams does. But 34 is the only like spicy, explicit chapter, so definitely skip that if you're looking for closed door. So now I'm on chapter 36, like I said, and I'm really excited to kind of see how the story unfolds, how Sarah Adams wraps up this romance, and yeah, I'm excited to finish. So let's do it. It's only been a few minutes. I read chapter 36, and something else I have to say that I didn't talk about last night, or I kind of touched on a little bit, that I love about this book is the friend group, and specifically, I know I talked last night about how I loved like the guys in their friend group, but what I also love is that like in this chapter specifically in the book and even in the cheat sheet, like the girlfriends slash like wives are also a part of this like friend group, and they've just created this like friend group family that is so sweet and like celebrates each other and knows each other and calls each other out on their like whatever they're doing, and I just love them so much. And then also Derek, I feel like, is struggling with a little bit of just like identity things in this book, and Nora and also his friends are just so sweet about like reminding him that they love him not because of football or not because of whatever it is, but just because they love him, and like they're always going to be close, and just it's just so sweet. And I just love these characters and the way Sarah Adams has like woven them together in this story. And I'm so sad that this is like the only other book in this world besides the cheat sheet, because I love these characters. Anyways, back to reading. The Rule Book by Sarah Adams yesterday, and after having some time to think about it, I wanted to share my thoughts, my review, all of those things. So I ended up giving this book a 90 out of 100, which is a 5-star read for me, which I feel like makes perfect sense because I think all of Sarah Adams' books have been 5-star reads for me. Not like the top reads ever, but like just perfect, solid 5-star reads, and this was no different. So things I absolutely loved about this book: the dual point of views between Derek and Nora, so good. It adds all of the tension and the like romance. I love it. Seeing Bree and Nathan from the cheat sheet, love them. I love their friend group, which I've touched on, just the guys, the wives, the camaraderie they have, and all of that. I love seeing Derek find his identity inside and outside of football, like he's kind of grappling with some of those things in this book. I loved that. I loved Nora as this female representation in the sports world. I'm not a big sports person, that's not really my thing, but I do feel like female athletes and just females playing sports, I feel like don't always get as much recognition, and so I loved that that was a part of this book. I loved so many things about the romance, the tension, the banter. As I said, some of those other like tropes that are in this book that I don't want to spoil. And overall, I just thought this was a really solid read from Sarah Adams. It gives everything that you would expect a Sarah Adams book to give. It's fast-paced, it's so funny. It has some deeper things, but not like too deep. It's mostly more just like rom-com-esque, and I just absolutely loved it. I will say there is some language in this book, but it's not a ton. I feel like normally if it's something like this where like I'll notice it, but I don't feel like it's happening so often and so frequently that it like interferes with the story or my enjoyment of the story. So I feel like this was not that. It did not interfere with anything at all. And then for spice, I would say only chapter 34 is the one that you need to skip to make it closed door. I will say towards the second half of the book, it starts to maybe have more allusions to things, but in terms of actually being closed door, if you skip chapter 34, you should be in good shape. So overall, I loved reading this book. I love Sarah Adams. I'm sad this is the last book in this little world, but I know we have another book coming in the When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect world that she just announced. That is Emily, the sister's story, I think. So I'm so excited for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.